like having similar issues. So once you know that, like you're defining the like you've defined the problem, now you're I for me, that's like you need it's not from don't view it from like your designs or your user experience from a third person's point of view. Like experience it like yourself. You are the person having this problem and you want it solved. Then you begin to ideate on it. Okay, if setting slippage is too technical, why don't we make it a like just a single text box where you can increase or reduce your slippage, like clicking on something or tapping or scrolling, something similar. Very simple to use. Prototype. When you prototype, either you do actual prototypes on Figma or like with the what's the word? I've forgotten the word. Well, you can prototype using the Figma prototypes or the Fig Jam boards. I don't know, or on other designing apps, you could check there for prototypes, like prototyping platforms. So even as a Web3 PM, you'd work with a lot of people. You work with a startup owner, like I said, mostly startups in this space. Even the established people, you'd be working really closely with the higher ups because there are not a lot of people in the space, like in the Web3 space, but they're also like really technical. So you need to understand what they're saying and break it down for them. And when you give them your prototypes to test, that oh please look at this solution I came up with. What's your opinion? What's your feedback? Sometimes it's not going to be totally honest. You're essentially testing a theory. Like you go through the design thinking cycle like multiple times before you come out with a solution that you are really, really comfortable with. Can you guys still hear me? I just want to confirm. Hello? Oh, I hope my network has not gone off. Okay, good. Yeah, that's that on. Does everyone understand the design thinking slide? Like, do you guys wanna? I don't know. Sharing screen on this app is a bit inconvenient because I can't see. Let me see if I can do this. No. I don't know. Sharing screen is. So I want to see. Okay, but yeah. Does anyone have any questions on design thinking? If you do, please raise your hand or just type it in the chat. Okay, so let's move on from design thinking. Now, getting into what is thinking, you need to understand that like as a PM, you're not just working on the technical side of things. You're working on the business side of things. You have to merge things, like you have to find that middle point, like the intersection between business goals, stakeholder goals, and user needs. Like the problem and solution needs to merge at a specific point. That goes to also emphasize product market fit and long term impact. So as PMs in Web3, we need to understand that like most of the problems or use cases you might be ideating or solving for or working on, they are kind of ideas. They're not really validated. So it's kind of like it's more difficult here in this in this aspect of things. It's a bit more difficult because you have to do like extensive research. You have to do extensive research to understand the problem space and the solution space, what to solve, how to solve. Achieving product market fit is something that is a very crucial step. Actually, it's like it's make or ma for startups. Many startups do not kind of like achieve product market fit, and that's why they die off. That's why they die off really, really early, especially crypto startups. I think crypto startups have a failure rate of 85%. So like you can imagine the numbers, and like if they don't achieve product market fit, they will fail. Like so as PMs, it is your job to prevent that from happening. And like any good PM that knows their beings needs to understand, okay, this is the problem they are solving and this is how we are going to solve it. And our solution is good because it's not idealist in terms of like, oh, it's just solving the problem without solving business goals or stakeholder goals. And like by business goals and stakeholder goals, I mean like, how is your startup going to make money? Even the public good startups or public good products, they make money somehow. Either charges like something that is like, okay, how are we going to make money? And is this business model or is this business structure sustainable? That's one. Is it scalable? Like can it scale to like 10,000, from 10,000 to 50,000 to 100 to like 500 to 1 million, like 1 million users? Is this scalable? Can we continue to adapt this business model long term? Be thinking about with sorry, alongside your solution. Does anyone have? Can you guys hear me still? All right. So does anyone have any questions about this slide? I'm just stay on this slide. So please raise your hand if you do. Ooh, okay. So now I'm moving on to the next slide. I just have to cracking. It's cracking. Can you hear me clearly now? Can you guys hear me clearly now? A minute ago. Okay, okay. I'm seeing one thumbs up from B. I don't know about the rest. Somebody left, I think. But yeah, we're gonna move on to like product thinking and design thinking. So PMs, PMs, Web3 PMs need to kind of they're generalists because like I said earlier, there are not a lot of people in the Web3 PM space. So you need to generalize a lot. Like you need to have a vast understanding of a lot of things. And like I said earlier, so you're going to essentially, this is just like the process where you merge design thinking with product thinking. So you're researching, like, what is the problem? You're researching the problem. You're doing user research. You're doing interviews. You're doing online surveys. You're doing contextual inquiries. Sorry about the noise, guys. Uh, contextual inquiries. You're also doing market research. You're also interviewing like your stakeholders. That in this case, you'll be CEOs, your like developer relations experts, and like a lot of like other people that like have a stake in your company or the company you're like working at. And once you do that, you'd be able to like define, okay, user personas. Person A wants this app and like this is what they do. They're a marketer, they're an affiliate marketer, they're 20 to 25-year-olds, they have computer literacy. I think you guys know about like designing user personas and everything. But yeah, you should be able to do that once you've done the research necessary, like, and you have all the information. Like I said, you shouldn't make the mistake of assuming anything, especially in Web3. You should not make the mistake of assuming anything. And then you can do like an empathy map. So okay, these group of people that I'm solving for, they feel this way because they have a problem, like an existing problem, and our solution would help them. Now, what is the job to be done? Like I said, if you are aware of what the problem is, it'll be easier to define. You're saying you're solving the problem of setting slippage to be too technical. So you need to like, okay, that is what we need to do. We need to simplify the onboarding process of trading crypto. That is your job to be done. Essentially, job to be done is like a CTA, like a call to action. And then from whose point of view, like as who exactly are you solving for? Me. Like I'm a new trader. I want to learn trading and I'm just getting into it. So what what do we like, how do I make this easier for myself? How do I make this easier for other people who are also just learning trading themselves? So yeah. And in the design space, you have like you begin to ideate on that, like on all the things you've done in this problem space. So you're ideating on the customer journey map. So like what is the flow like? They are going to go from okay, they're onboarding, so they're just signing in with their email. Automatically there's a for them they multiple chain wallets attached to their email, stuff like that. Value proposition canvas, like what this value proposition canvas now, it's like what is your user going to gain from your solution, like the solution to your problem. What is your user going to gain? And like me as a user, I'm gonna gain like, oh, okay, the onboarding process is pretty simple. So now I don't even need to think about all the like I don't have to set my slippage. I don't have to do a lot of technical things when it comes to trading. I can just come onto the app and use it. And I don't need to look around or Google or search. Like I don't need to waste time. Like I'm trading now. I'm a trader. Features, user stories. I think we've already spoken on that with like personas and user stories. I think they go hand in hand. Then features to prioritize is like your MVP. There's another slide on MVPs, but your MVP should not. It's not like the minimum viable product, as in just the minimum, like the minimum thing you can do. It's the minimum that is required for your app to be solving the problem you want to solve, not just like the least thing you can do. Structure and flow, we already spoke about user flow. Then sketching wireframes, this is where you begin to like, okay, talk about, oh, like the sign-in should look like this so that it's easier for everybody to navigate. Then like the onboarding page, the slippage, like how the flow, like how it's gonna flow. Exactly, we just spoke about that. How it's going to flow from, okay, I log in, what next? I set up my account. What next? Okay, I can see my wallet addresses. Okay, what next? I can receive or like deposit some money into there. Okay, what next? I want to trade. How do I do that? That's like how the sketching and wireframe should go. You should sketch according to what your user flow is. And when you're done, you can now begin like storyboarding. Like, okay, this page now, this is what I want to use it to do. This is how I want to do it. And like, this is how I want to do it. And like this is how the user is going to experience it from their point of view, because remember in the beginning I said that you have to empathize with like your the people you're solving from, your users, your potential users. You have to empathize with them and understand the problem, so it'll be easier. Exactly, you need to put yourself in their shoes essentially. And once you're able to storyboard, prototyping becomes easier. Like, I mean, I know we have everything itemized here, like each and every step, but it's really just one. Really, once you nail the process, like once you understand it properly, it's really easy to like nail. Like you just do it in one flow. You don't even need to think about, oh, it's not like you have to go over it like a checklist. I just want to see, is there a metric or time frame to achieve PMF for Web3 products? I will answer this in a minute, okay? I will answer that in a minute. So we go from the MVP to the Epic. That's like the actual solution. So once you're here, you've basically built the app. Your backlog of like, okay, all the feature rollouts you wanted to do, have you done them? Good. Is the app still working? As in developing functionality? Yes. So integration, what APIs are you integrating to make your product scale? What APIs are you integrating? Then like your sprints, like okay, take your take your take your what do you call it? Take your users and kind of just put them through the like app and ask them questions really quick. Like it's like especially Web3 products do a lot of like there are a lot of Web3 products that are user facing, like user forward facing. So you don't even have like your users and your stakeholders are really close, especially because like Web3 is on Twitter, like crypto Twitter, like everybody's there. So if your product is terrible, they'll tell you real time, like real time, real time, that your product is terrible, that it doesn't solve the problem. They will tell you the issues, they will test for you. So you need to put them through sprints, like multiple sprints. Again, we've already entered testing. We're still doing system testing, usability testing, implementing changes, and evaluating market. Okay, now I can speak about product market fit. So the thing about product market fit as Web3 products or Web3 startups is that the space is really volatile. That's the first thing I want everybody to understand. It's like always changing. It's really dynamic here, and things change really quickly. So it's not like there's a specific time frame. It's just you need to be able to stay above that, like stay above water. Don't just build or like don't let your products or products you're working with just build for building's sake. That oh, this is the new meta. Oh, this is the new narrative. This is what's popular. No, you need to sit down and ideate like, okay, what is a problem that I have or I'm having or other people are having in this space? How can I solve it? And once you do that, like achieving product market fit will even be easier because there's an actual problem to solve. If you're just building for building sake, then you're not going to you're just going to keep building shit. Sorry for swearing. But you're just going to keep building and then you're not going to be actually solving anybody's problem. You're just going to be building for nothing. But if you do the research and ideate on a problem, then you'd achieve product market fit. No how, no way. Pat, does this answer your question? Before we go to the next slide.
Most parts of your explanation, it's been cracky. I really didn't get it. So I'm guessing maybe I'll check it up from the record.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know this was being recorded, but yeah, okay. Right. Let me go to the next one. Combining design thinking and product thinking is essentially the handshake and the first step to doing anything, launching a product, building a company, anything really. Because design thinking kind of ensures that like, it's like a filter for the solutions to the problems that the users are having. Like it's a filter. So again, we're going through that checklist. So you're making sure that the solutions are feasible, are they scalable, are they viable, and like the strategy you're using to solve them, is it empathizing with the users? Because if it's not, you won't be able to achieve PMF. But yeah, does anyone have questions so far? You can barely see the PDF. I don't know. This app is very weird.
Okay.
Okay. Someone has questions. Hello? Umar, do you have questions? Hello? Umar. Maybe I don't know, maybe he's not online. Wait, does anyone else like have questions? Yes, you'd be able to get access to slides afterward. I would share it on a Google Drive link and send to Victoria so she would send it to you guys. Um All right, sorry about that. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Again, we're talking about the MVP. So this is just like an infographic on what your MVP should be. Like I said, it's not the minimum or like the minimalistic thing you can do. Like it shouldn't be the least thing you can do. It should be what is going to get you, like what is going to solve the problem. Like now you can see easily here that the problem is moving quickly from point A to point B. A skateboard does it, but like a scooter can solve that problem faster. And a bike can definitely solve that faster. A motorcycle can, like you move from a bike. Like that's how you grow. This is how startups grow. They are still solving the problem here, but at a lesser capacity. And you can see through until they get to the car. That's how startups should be. Does anyone, I don't know. I wish this session was more interactive. I don't want to just be talking. So we're now we're now on applying design thinking in Web3. And and like I said earlier, like it's pretty much the same thing, but you have to narrow down like something specific here we have to note is narrowing down problems. Like you have to narrow down. You can't, like I said earlier, you can't just build for building's sake or because you wanna build for like a popular thing. Like you don't want to do that because it's kind of like a waste of effort. I would like so sorry to say, but it will be a waste of effort because at the end of the day, especially like as often as it happens and as often as it is with like crypto total, like narratives will always die, narratives will always change, narratives will always move from point A to point B. But if you're building for an actual problem like that has been narrowed down, researched on, ideated on, like you've worked on this problem, then you would not die with the wave. You won't die with the wave. And always brainstorm UX improvements. Then your prototypes, you can create low fidelity versions of like dApps. And like by dApps, I just mean like apps that are on chain, like decentralized apps. You don't need to, it's not anything too technical. And then your testing, like I said earlier, because crypto Twitter is just like one big space, it's easy for you to get user feedback. All you have to do is just ask, and they will tell you wholeheartedly what's what with your app. So yeah, let's go to the next slide. Product thinking too is the same for Web2, Web3. You have to focus on the problem and solution and find a way to toe that line in the middle. You want to understand, okay, yeah, I know these people have a problem, but solving it is just not going to be enough. We need to solve it and for the solution to be scalable. And by scalable, I mean, like I said, growing from one user to 10 users to 100 to 500 to 1000 to 10K to 50K to 100K to 500. Like you need to come up with scalable solutions that are maintainable. Like, okay, business wise, is this a good thing, a good decision to make? Is this scalable? Like, is this like would this accommodate our business needs? You need to also research on that. And then you can, because thank God, because we're on blockchain, we already have these statistics. Like we have the data that you can use to like produce statistics that would be good, like that would be essentially forecasting your numbers, especially in crypto, because like you have transaction volume, total volume processed, you have all those things, you have access to all those things on chain. So you don't even need to do much research, but you need to like you need to use your metrics so that like when you're when you're taking decisions, like or when you're ideating on something or like trying to release a new feature, you can refer to those metrics. Spoke about this earlier. So your product thinking canvas. User first. What is your problem? What problem do we solve? And who is it for? Those are the two main questions you should ask yourself. Those are the two main questions you should ask yourself. And how do you want to do this? So like now, this we have there's a problem that we are solving. So why are we solving it? And how do we do this? And now, what is the outcome? Or what do we want the outcome to be? We're simplifying so and so. And this is exactly how we are doing it. These are just key differences between design thinking and product thinking. So you have focus, time frame, outputs, and then like you see on the design thinking aspect, your focus is creativity and user empathy. On product thinking, you have strategy and scalability. So you have to merge the two. And like I said earlier, as product managers, you have to be like generalists, especially in Web3. You have to be a generalist and know a lot. Like you have to have a vast wealth of knowledge to pull from, so that you understand, so that you understand the user's problem and how you're solving it. The time frame, early stage, like this design thinking is more of early stage. Once you begin to like move beyond your MVP, you don't really have to come here unless you're rolling out like a new feature. Obviously, I'm using my hand. Unless you're rolling out a new feature, then you'd come back here to like do like early stage ideation. Then in product thinking, you're thinking about like the entire lifespan of the product. Like, okay, I have to take this product from idea to finished concept, sorry, actual product. And once I get there, I now have to ensure that the product like achieves product market fit. And for PMF, you also have like exiting stage, those kind of things. And the output is like okay, problem definition and prototypes. But on product thinking, you have deliverables aligned with goals. So like I said earlier, and I'm going to just be making. I know I'm making a lot of reference to what I had said in the beginning, but product product management is a lot of referencing. You do a lot of research, you do a lot of reading, you do a lot of understanding, you do a lot of listening too. You do a lot of listening that oh, I want to hear from different people on a specific thing. I don't take all their points of views and see how I can like kind of align them with myself and then see them as and then see these solutions as like as my own personal business goals. So like you need to align you need to align your deliverables with the business goals of your company. Does anyone have any questions? We're almost at actually I think we're at the end. The next thing is I had prepared like a workshop activity for you guys. So let's do this designing for crowdfunding. I guess active. Please tell me you can hear me rather. All right. I can see if I what use tools can I use for researching. So what tools can you use for? So I personally have a few tools. I use Flipside. Flipside. Yeah, Flipside is a data research tool for all the chains, but I specifically research like Solana, the Solana blockchain, because that's where I work. So you can get any kind of data on like maybe um the number of validators or the number of transactions each block that powers Solana is processing in a second or in a minute or over an hour or over a month. Like I use Flipside. Let me get the link for you. Flipside, not Flipchart. Flipside. Let me get that out. Sorry. Flipside. Yes, Flipside Crypto XYZ. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? I was trying to see, like, I was asking if you guys wanted to get into um the crowdfunding, designing a crowdfunding app, like the activity. So do you guys want to do that, or should we do it like should we make it a take home so that you get like next? I don't know when is the next session? Yeah. So we should do it now. We should do it now. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do is just open Figma or FigJam rather. Hello chat, please give me crowdfunding problems. I keep breaking. Are you guys sure it's normal? Like if you can't hear me, just tell me you can. Like I was saying, unmute your mic and talk. Cause I won't know. Like cause I can't stare at the screen.
All right.
Not available or accessible in Nigeria. Okay, yeah, I mean that's the problem, but it's vague. Like what specific problem? And I mean there are Nigerian crowdfunding apps. There is GoFundMe is available in Nigeria, but I don't think it's Naira. So okay, it's the network. So I was saying that okay, like me too. I don't think my network has broken since. Well, let's say let's say a problem we have with crowdfunding apps is that making the creating the crowdfunding pools is hard. So like they have to fill one kind of long, very long form. So we need to simplify that, and we need to essentially do that. Wait, wait. I wanted to take this. So we're just going to make it a form. Oh, please, you guys should not mock my designing. Oh, please don't mock my designing skills. I am not a designer. I do this on pen and paper. I'm not used to this on Figma at all. Alright. So this eh? I don't even know what is going on. Guys, can you guys hear me? Uh
You
uh,
clearly.
eh? Okay, you can hear me clearly. Good. So this crowdfunding, I don't want to do this on Figma because I don't know what's up with this. Okay, good. Now we're making progress. So I want to add text. What text do I want to add? So let's say what questions? Okay, so what purpose do you want to crowd fund for? Well, this text is really large, so I'm just gonna. Uh, guys, this is a bit difficult for me. But uh, so we're gonna like that's what we want to simplify the form. Oh, okay. What purpose do you want to crowdfund for? This should be an easy question. Then another question that we're gonna ask is how much are you looking to raise? How much are you looking to raise? That's another question. Then the question is let's just keep it at three. Any other thing would be much. So what other questions do they typically ask crowdfunding and on crowdfunding apps? Guys, are you still with me? Okay, so what other questions? Somebody should make a suggestion, guys. I don't want to do
I
this.
need to I need to get this crowdfunding mechanism correct. Like I know before now we did some smart contract back then. Yeah, like in Posach. I don't know if you know about Posach now. It was the crowdfunding initiative where we had a smart contract, and people were like registering and putting money on a particular pool, which probably that smart contract, I don't think it's even audited, and at the end of the day, people lost money. I don't know if something like that or this crowdfunding is relating to like raising fund for early startup projects. I want to get that clear so that I can open up my mind and suggest possible questions in the minds of project owners and in the
Um,
minds of members of well.
okay, so like it's just a like an exercise that we're doing to kind of just think about how the design and wireframe should look like. So we hadn't even gotten to the technicalities of whether or not it's just the we're going to make or what we're trying to do is make the onboarding like for crowdfunding a crowdfunding app as simple as possible. So we're limiting it to just three questions. What are the typical questions that crowdfunding apps ask? What are the typical questions that they ask? That's what I'm saying. Hello? Clever, Mr. Clever. I don't think I get your name. Well, Mr. Clever. Does that answer the
Yeah, yeah,
question?
yeah, yeah. That's the name. That's the name. for me, what maybe you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Like the crowdfunding app now that we are, trying to like work on right now. What's the initiative behind it? Is it like a pool of fund where they create a smart contract? That's a crowdfunding as well, or it's like a startup project trying to raise money from of kind of like ICO, something like that. I need to have something to so that I can think on. That's what I'm trying to say. So I need to have the idea.
Okay, we are so like, what I'm saying, like I said, we are not even getting. It's just a conceptual crowdfunding app. What's a crowdfunding, like GoFundMe? GoFundMe is too hard to use. Why? Because the onboarding process is not simplified. Okay, that is the problem we are trying to solve. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm asking, right? Is part of the question you're asking to do the onboarding. You could ask how much do you intend to crowdfund? What are you pulling the money for? What
No,
the
I
money
can't.
will be used for? Basically, the value of the money. That was the question I was aiming for.
What did you say? Sorry.
I said right.
Yeah.
The You want to crowdfund, right? You want to pull money together to achieve a goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Mm-hmm.
pulling the money for maybe? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good. So is the money being pulled together for a business to be set up? Is it pulled together to meet a hospital bill? Is it pulled together to set up a community project? A simple question like that. What is the money
That's
meant
what.
for?
Okay, so that's what I was saying now. Like I was taking questions. I was like, okay, let's look for questions. So how much? Okay, so what purpose? We've already asked that question here. Yeah. What purpose do you want to crowdfund for?
Oh,
Does that correct?
beautiful.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
I can't really see it. I'm just saying that now.
Okay. So the second question we asked in this wireframe was how much are you looking to raise? Yeah. That's also a good question. What do you think? Then okay, maybe we can also ask them if they're raising for themselves or for a cause. Are you raising for yourself? And then maybe a fourth question should be okay, if they select the cause, if they select the cause, they should say, okay, what cause are you raising for? But do you know what I think? I think this question should be first, even like the first thing we ask. So let's say here we shift and go here. So now we have three solid questions. So let's just visualize this as a form, guys. Please don't make fun of me and my bad design skills. I'm not good at this. So, I use it for yourself or a cause, myself, this thing. So, we copy this. So, we paste. So, now, what we're gonna do? Oh, no, no. Don't. Oh, I thought I had copied this. Now, so, let's see. Movie. Alright, good. So, now, what purpose do you want to crowdfund for? We allow them to place the text and how much are you looking to raise. So essentially, this is onboarding of to a crowdfunding app simplified. So what we're gonna do is put a text box here. So we'd say onboarding form. Oh, no, onboarding We can just keep it here. So now we've done this. So I'm gonna share the link to this with you guys, and you'd work on it. You'd work on the rest of the wireframes. Sorry, I didn't. I don't know. I adjusted that wrongly. I'm gonna share the link to this so that you guys can work on this. So value cob. Everybody that works on this should put their name this way, like this, like on top, and like put your name. Maybe now this is mine. So Ashley Olika onboarding form. This is what I worked on. So think about how you want the flow for this crowdfunding app to be, and then you can work on more wireframes. Like I said, you're not designing a full app. You're just doing wireframes of how the app should look like and what the user flow should be. So let me set permissions. Anyone can edit. Not access. Only anyone. Here. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I can copy this to another file to share with you guys. But let me share the link either way. Copy. So I've sent the link. You guys can use it as your inspo. But yeah, that should be all for today. Does anyone have any further questions? Uh Alright, since we don't, I will see you guys next week. Bye.